I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm alive. It says you're live. And I'm like, ooh, I'm alive. All right. Who is here? Terry, hi. Kendall, hello. Beth, hi. Okay, that's right. You do. And you're going to do your integration in a great way today, Kendall. So I love that. All right. Here's what I want to say because I know you're live and I love that you're live here. And there's a lot of people that watch this that don't watch it live. So my community, Stronger Bones Lifestyle, you're all in there. I'm not sure if you're in there, Beth. I think you may be, but I'm not sure that I see you as often. I go in there every day. I go in there a few times a day. Things are really revving up in my community. I have experts that come in monthly to meet with us, which is great. Dr. Andy Bush, orthopedic surgeon, came in March and it's recorded. And then this month, and you guys are the first to hear it because I don't think we posted it yet. But Dr. Kimberly Zambito, she is an orthopedic surgeon and she's a woman. Only 10% of orthopedic surgeons are female. So we have her in our side because her whole platform is fracture prevention. She does wrist surgeries or hand surgeries, and the wrist is the number one fracture site on women over age 65. So really important that we take care of ourselves. And we have this amazing female orthopedic surgeon that is educating women in the bone health space on affordable, physician recommended, natural approaches to take control of our bone health. And that is what we want. For those of us that are naturally minded, want to do all that we can, it's available. And so Stronger Bones Lifestyle Community, if you're not a member, I invite you to join. It's 7 days you could come in just to look around and see what you think. I just posted recently some of the bone turnover markers that are being used in the conventional medicine space so that you could go to a physician that is functional minded or open minded to look at some things. And then, of course, there's some issues with that. So come into the community and you'll read why I think that those are like, or is that legitimate? We do the best we can to figure out things. So anyway, Stronger Bones Lifestyle Community, can't say enough. If those of you that are here, if you want to make any comments about your experience so far, live cooking classes. My next cooking class is anti-inflammatory, which is probably the most important cooking class, one of, if not the most important, because osteoporosis is an inflammatory disease. And when we can manage inflammation, which mainly comes in through our food, 80% of your immune system is right here. So you got to make sure that what you're bringing in is not triggering inflammation, because that's one big top thing. And then the other thing is what we're going to do now. So any questions or comments before I begin for those of you that are here live? And then for those of you that aren't here live that are looking at this later, look at the link in the show notes. That's from my podcast. And on that note, Stronger Bones Lifestyle Podcast, I would love for you to look. Today's episode is with a doctor on bioidentical hormone replacement, and it's amazing because that's really the number one preferred method currently that we are using is hormone replacement, and you need a physician that knows what they're doing with that. So listen to that episode. But look below for links to these things so that you could join us. Claudia, good morning. Kendall. It's a friendly, supportive group. Exactly. And Kendall is one of the people that I go back and forth with often. I don't even remember where Kendall lives, but Kendall and I talk quite often in there because that is where I show up. My goal is to empower women to give the information on what we can do naturally to support our bones. And I'm in there often. So anyway, Dr. Kimberly Zambito will be here in April. Thinking about my May person, I have a live coming up with a detox expert because we need to have clean makeup, clean cleaning products, clean water, clean food, and stop the bombardment of toxicity that we're being exposed to. So I am bringing in experts that have all of this information for us to be the best versions of ourselves, healthiest versions of ourselves, to learn what we need to learn. So Stronger Bones Lifestyle Community, really low monthly fee. So I'd love to have you join us. All right, I'm going to get started. Are there any questions before I begin? If you have anything in particular, today we're going to focus on posture and spinal health. That's a really important one. Well, I'll tell you when I start to teach, I'll tell you something that happened that I thought was pretty great yesterday with one of the orthopedic surgeons that I'm partnering with. So anyway, any questions before I go over there? Because I cannot see. I can barely see from this close up, and I really cannot see from that far back. All right, so I know who's here, those of you that have told me you're here, and then I see that there's others here, so welcome. If this is your first time, don't be shy, really friendly, and I want to know what's going on with you so I could tailor the practice for you, because that's important to me. And if you don't talk to me now, you could talk to me at the end. All right. So let's do this. Today's focus will be on posture and spinal health. And this is really important because half of all the fractures are in the spine, and they are from posture. They're from lack of awareness throughout our lives of what happens, the way that we move, the way that we stand. So we need to make sure that we have the strength in our body to hold us up. We need the muscles that are going to support that. A lot of those muscles are posterior, which means the back of our body. This is the upper back and neck muscles. We need that. We need the erector muscles, the muscles that actually allow our body to bend, that are attached into our pelvis, all the way up our spine to the skull, that lengthen when we go forward and then contract to bring us back up. And if we don't learn how to do this properly, then we put it in our spine. And if we put it in our spine, we put too much pressure in the front of the spine where all the fractures are. So safe spinal space, SSS, from the lower heart to the belly button. This physical space, 8 vertebrae or 7 vertebrae. I do this every time. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, lumbar 1 and 2, 7. Magic 7. I got to think of 7 SSS. Safe spinal space 7. All right. So right here, you want to make sure that you keep this open, spacious, not contracted. And then when we do twisting, it's really important because twisting is where we create the most stimulation to the spine, or where we can create a lot of stimulation to the spine. I guess the back bending is another place. When we do the back bending, we can also. So we have to do that safely, and we need to do it often. So learning how to raise awareness to the safe spinal space, and then to the practice itself to create the strength in our body. If you want stronger bones, you need stronger muscles. So when you're showing up to your practice with me right now, and then when you get off your mat, that's the focus. In the moment, there's a stimulation to the muscles. It takes a few days for muscles to build. So whatever you do today, within the next few days, your muscles will get stronger. And then it takes about 7 days for bones to remodel. So we do what we're doing here today to create the stimulation for a few days from now that will then a week from now create stronger bones. So, and in the moment, there's going to be a demand. So very important that you take that concept, because that's what empowers you to know that you are in control of your body and your bones. And that when you demand more, your body will respond and give you more. That is so important. And that is from the mouth of Dr. Andy Bush, orthopedic surgeon that I partner with and do work with and learn from as an orthopedic surgeon, how to build the stronger muscles that then in turn brings the stronger bones. That's what he shares what the evidence and what the science behind it is. So the science behind stronger bones is you need stronger muscles to build and to make and to maintain stronger bones. In the moment you're creating the stresses and the tension in the muscles, they are going to get stronger a few days later, and then 7 days later, your bones are going to respond to that. So that's what you're showing up today to do. It is possible, it happens, and that is how you take control and take charge. So yes, you are doing it, and yes, you can do it, and that is what I want you to take from this. Today's practice, posture and spinal health. Get a mat, a wall if you need it, a chair if you need it. Bring with you whatever you need. I have extra things today. So the basics would be the block, the strap, and the blanket. Really highly recommend that you invest in these because it really is a lifelong endeavor for us to take care of ourselves. And when you use props, it actually helps to bring the ground to you. So if you're not quite as flexible or as strong yet, then you use these props. A tennis ball when we stand, really great way for balance to wake up the feet. So if you do have that, get that. And an extra block if you'd like. I'm going to give you 2 options to start the practice today. We want to begin with that mind-body connection so that when we are in the moment creating the strong stimulation for stronger muscles, for stronger bones, we are very in tune and connected. And we're going to begin with a supported back bend, something I do often, and especially if we're focusing on spinal health and posture, because the spinal muscles and postural muscles are right here in the upper body. And the opposite of good posture is this, and that's tight front body. That's tightness in the front of the shoulders, in the chest muscles, and in the front of the spine. And right here in the core, that's going to be a contracted state in the core. So we're going to start with a chest opener and a supported back bend. If you would have only a blanket, if you don't have 2 blocks, you could roll up your blanket and make this be what you put your body on. If that's one option. Another option is this. You could take your blanket, fold your blanket for your head, and you're going to use the block behind your heart, which goes on the shoulder blades. So that would be option number 2, making sure whenever you move, you're not collapsed, but rather you're lengthened, really active in your core, active in your posture. So this may be one that you would do, or you could use 2 blocks. So depending on what you have access to, this is what many of you may do. And so choosing whatever is appropriate for you. If you do have 2 blocks, you could use 2 blocks, and you might use these at different levels. I want to make sure that I share that. I get asked often to show the different levels depending on where you are. This is a beginning level, this is a next level, and then lower level. And what does it depend on? It depends on how flexible your upper body is. And not that one thing is better than the other, but you've got to do what's appropriate for you. So coming down with the shoulder blades onto the block, and the other block is underneath your head. And keep your knees bent, walk your feet close to your body so that we leave the lower back out of this. And we do most of this opening in the upper chest, shoulder, chest area. Lift your head, lengthen your back neck, and bring your arms onto your side. Now, depending on the activity level of your mind, if you're able to come here and just rest and keep your mind calm and focus on your breath, then do that. But if you're in a place where you need your mind to actually calm down, you could actually use more movement and do a moving meditation. So it's your choice. Arms are either out to the side, focusing on the breath, or you're moving your arms. So I'll instruct the movement of the arms. Inhale, let your arms move towards the wall behind you. Exhale, let your elbows slowly come down towards your waist. Inhaling, the arms go up. Exhale, the arms and the elbows come down. Keep your eyes closed. Slow down the movement if you're doing the movement. If your arms are out to the side, focus on the breath, slowing down the breath as you inhale and you exhale. Mouth is closed, breathing in and out through your nose, paying attention and getting connected to your breath. Allowing the energy of your mind and the energy of your body to start to slow down, bringing your awareness and yourself to this place, to this moment, to right here, right now. You inhale overhead. You exhale towards your waist. or the arms stay out at the sides. Trying to create as much stretch in the shoulder, chest area as possible. So either move your arms away from you, move them up. Really start to slow down your breath. And then if you are moving, if you have managed to bring yourself into a slower pace with your body energy and mind energy, you could come to a static or a held position with the arms high and wide to the place where you feel a lot of stretch in the front of your body. And if you still need to bring movement in, bring the movement in. It's your practice. Focusing on your breath, breathing into your nostrils, and then follow the breath in the chest. So we want to stretch the thoracic spine, the spine where the rib cage is. So bring your awareness to the spine, right where the bottom part of the block is, all the way up to the top of your upper back. And see if you could breathe in and breathe back. Breathe back towards the block. Feeling that pressure as you breathe in and back. If you're on a block, feel the pressure on the block. If you're on a blanket, feel the pressure on the blanket. If you add a visual, seeing your breath as it comes in the nostrils, down the back of the throat, to the place behind the heart, you'll feel that pressure on whatever it is your body is touching. And then I want you to start to notice the rebound and the lift and the expansion you get in your chest, stretching the muscles of respiration, stretching the spine. As the ribs move, they're attached to the spine. This creates more flexibility, more range of motion in your rib cage and in your spine. If your mind wanders, bring it back to the breath, back to the spine, back to the place behind the heart. And then one more big breath. With the props behind us and a back bend supported, it's nice to come into a fully stretched body position if that's available to you. Go slow so your body has time to acclimate to this. See how it feels to lengthen your arms overhead, to lengthen your legs, pushing through the heels, flex the wrists, flex the heels, stretching your body up. Feel that stretch
And try to, as you reach up with your arms, try to pull the rib cage away from the pelvis, creating that length in your body. And then take one more big breath. And then go ahead and bend your knees. We're going to come off of this, so go slow. As you come off, you'll notice that relief, that release. And every day, we actually are in a forward position very often. So doing a chest expansion, chest opener is something to do daily if possible. Let's push ourselves up. Let the head go along for the ride. And the pectoral muscles, which are the chest muscles, these are big, powerful muscles when it comes to posture. So can you push away and push yourself up to a seated position? And practice that. I see probably 100 bodies a week in the live classes that I teach. And I've taught for years, since 2010. And what I notice is that there's a default to lift up with the head using the pulling muscles, the upper back area. But if we realize that the pectoral muscles, the chest muscles, are the power muscles of posture in the front body, we need to start pushing away more. And so that's going to be some of the physical postures we do here, and then bringing that into even our daily movement, so that as we're moving throughout our day, we have an opportunity to create that strength in our muscles. And then in turn, that creates that strength into our bones. Moving our props off to the side. I'd like you to get your blanket and take your blanket and let's fold the blanket. So it's good to have a blanket, or at home, it might be nice to get pillows, or if you have a yoga bolster, it would be good. And then if you don't like weight on your knees, I don't necessarily like to weight bear on my knees. If you take your take your mat and fold your mat so that you have this extra cushion for the kneecaps. And then you're gonna have your blanket here. Now we're gonna do a little warm up. We're gonna move slowly, move through the wrists and the shoulders and the hips. Now what saves our spine is bending in our hip joint. So I want you to look forward with your head and start to push your pelvis back, not letting any other movement come into your pelvis. So don't let your pelvis start to tilt yet, but keep your head lifted pretty high. You're looking forward. You might start to feel a burning sensation in the upper back and neck, strengthening the postural muscles in the neck and the upper back. So lifting our head against gravity like this is one of the movements that's going to strengthen our posture muscles. Take your hands, spread your fingers like crazy. Now this is a neutral pelvis. I want you to start to, when you come back, push your belly button up towards your spine. Imagine that you have a Sharpie marker on the tailbone and start to draw a line down the back wall. So it takes that extension curve out of the low back. Your gaze is forward. And when you reach back now, we're stretching the erector muscles. We're stretching the back muscles that attach to the pelvis and to the lower spine. Keep your head lifted. You exhale when you go back. Push your belly up strongly. Bring that flexion into the lumbar spine. Point the tailbone down. Keep the head up so you don't bring that flexion into the thoracic spine. Maintaining a safe spinal space in your spine as you move back. Practicing and letting your body feel what it feels like to bend at the hip joint and to keep your head lifted in the process. Stretching those erector muscle groups of the back, lengthening the low back, and mobilizing the lower spine. Push the belly button up. Going back as far as your knees will let you. It doesn't matter if it's all the way down, just move back in a safe way. And then one more like this. And then bring yourself up for a second. Probably feeling those erector muscles in the upper spine right above the heart burning and being activated. So we need that upper part of our body to be active. So we're going to come into a flowing practice in our hips, in our shoulders, and we're going to use these pectoral muscles. So for beginners, I would recommend that you get something even higher than this. So it could be a yoga bolster if you have one, or if you have pillows, a couple of pillows. so you don't have to go all the way down to the ground. There's a push-up action in this, which is where we're gonna push away from the floor. And so that's gonna strengthen the front of our upper chest. And as we lower down, we're gonna resist. So we're really gonna get to the back of the body here, to the triceps. An area where a lot of us women are not as strong, and we need to be when it comes to posture and spinal health. So bring your hands and bring yourself into a all fours position. And then make sure that the blanket or the pillows are right below the belly area. So take an inhale. As you exhale, push yourself back. Now you're going to keep your tushy in the air as if you were cracking raw eggs right where your legs attach. Belly comes closer to top thighs. Forehead goes down onto the blanket or the pillows. And you want your arms to be straight here, stretching the spine, stretching the chest muscles. This is your exhale. So take an exhale. Inhale to come forward. Then from here, we're going to exhale. Elbows staying at the side of your body as you lower down towards the ground. You inhale, lead with your nose, keep your elbows in at the sides, bring the back bend into your spine, and then push yourself up, and the exhale to come back. Inhale to come forward. Lowering down, don't let your head hang, let it be in alignment with your torso. Inhale, nose pushes away, neck bends, spine bends, and then exhale back. It's a flowing practice to warm up the spine, to warm up posture muscles. Exhale to lower. One more. Go slow on the way down. And then bring yourself all the way up and all the way out. So that can be a bit challenging. There's a lot of muscles involved. When you feel the accelerated heart rate, you know you're activating more muscles. The more muscles you use, the more bone stimulation will be created right now and will show up 7 days from now. That's what the science tells us. So take your blanket now, bring your blanket onto the mat. And then again, for those with knee issues, you may need extra props for cushion for your knees. I don't like to weight bear on my knees for very long. I do find it to be beneficial when I have a blanket here. So if you have your knees closer together, this is a little bit more challenge for balance. If balance is an issue for you, take a little bit of a wider stance with your legs. We are weight bearing here, so we're putting some force into the hip complex. We're going to do some upper body warm-ups, and I'll give you some cues that you could think of when you're not in a class being guided. So I like to teach you to take things off your mat into your day, because what you do every day, all day adds up. And so here's one where we're going to open our body. In yoga, when we move away from our body, when we lengthen our body, when we open our chest is when the inhale happens. So this is an inhale. Think about hello or welcome. And then exhale. Inhale. And if you let your gaze be up, either 2/3 of the way up the wall or all the way up to where the wall and the ceiling meets, then you're going to be putting your head slightly back, which is going to activate those upper back postural spinal muscles to work. And we're stretching, bringing lubrication into the shoulder joint, lengthening the pectoral muscles through movement. And then one more. So that's hello, opening, welcoming. Now we're going to do L, like the letter L. Take your hands by the side, and you're going to inhale to reach your arms away and exhale to bring your elbows back. Inhale to reach away and bring them back. Shoulder blades gliding along the upper back to release congestion up there, to bring lubrication and warmth and fluids and blood into the upper back and neck muscles. Away from you and then towards you. Imagine you're up against a wall, so your hands will be grazing along the wall, along the side of your body. So that's the L, the letter L. Let's move into the letter W. So the elbows begin at the waist. This is your exhale. And then inhale, reaching the arms up, not straightening the arms yet. And then exhale, bringing your arms to your waist. Inhale and exhale. Inhaling up and exhaling, elbows to waist. And then if you can close your eyes, I want you to feel this. Feel if it feels symmetrical. See if you could feel the work in the muscles of the shoulders. Can you feel the shoulder blades at the back of the body gliding away from center and then towards center? Inhaling long and away from your body, exhaling, bringing your arms back to your body. One more. Now let's take this a little wider. Let's go to the letter Y. So you inhale to unbend your elbows. Exhale back. Inhale, exhale. So the gaze is either 2/3 up the wall or a little higher, probably feeling that burning in the upper back and neck, which is going to ensure that you don't turn into the hunchback of Notre Dame, that you maintain that nice posture in your spine, which is protective of your spinal bones for life. One more. I want you to come into the Y. So we did the L down low, we did the W, and now we're doing the Y. Push your hands back. Slide your shoulder blades towards each other as if you're holding a pencil between your shoulder blades. And then slide or pull your shoulder blades down your back towards your pelvis. Squeeze your tushy cheeks to pull the tailbone down to protect the low back in this position. These are your posture muscles. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself out. Take away the tension. If you could sit on your heels, sit on your heels. If you can't, stay up or come to a crisscross leg position to take a break. Feeling that work in the upper back. If you'd like to close your eyes and catch your breath. Keep your mouth closed. Take deep breaths down to your belly. If the heart rate accelerates, you slow down your breath, taking deep breaths down to your belly. And then go ahead and blink your eyes open. So coming back up here. So you could do this in a kneeling position, and if your knees didn't like this, you could actually do all that we're doing here in a chair in a seated position. I'd like to bring rotation into the body, and that's one of the best ways to stimulate the back muscles, to strengthen the back muscles. It's a lot of core work as well. I want to teach you about the safe way to do this. We have heart lights, so our rib cage can move side to side, and we have hip lights. Our pelvis can move side to side. So you want to make sure that when you're doing your rotation, you don't go to too big or too hard of a movement, keeping the hip lights forward and moving the heart lights. That actually can be what can contribute to spinal fractures if you go too far in an end range of motion, especially if you're bending forward and doing that. So got to be careful with rotational things like pickleball, tennis, golf, all the things we want to still be able to do for the rest of our lives. So learning how to bring in the safe rotation to keep your spine healthy. Hip lights, heart lights. So I want you to take your elbow, move your elbow to the side, and let your hip lights and your heart lights go. So feel this fluidity in your body. You need to have a little bit of a wider stance with your legs. And if you're in a chair, spread your legs a little. So you let your elbow go up. You only go as far as you can let your pelvis come with you. And you'll feel where that is. Now, for those with low back issues, squeeze your tushy cheeks and pull your tailbone down. So you're actually protecting. It's going to limit your range of motion, and that's okay. Because if we go too far and we injure ourselves, what good is that? So we want to learn about safe rotation because it's such a beneficial spinal bone strengthening movement pattern and something we do in everyday life. Let it be the elbow that you lead with because that's going to bring the shoulder blade onto your spine to keep you in a nice postural position. And then go a little bit bigger with your arms, but let your elbows lead the way. Let your body swivel. So that's what I would suggest is you use the word swivel and bring swivel into your rotation. And then bring yourself back to center. Bring your legs a little closer together. Bring the arms up to center here. So the arms are coming off the shoulders. Higher if you can. If you have shoulder issues, lower that upper arm bone. It might be a little bit easier for you. Now strengthening pectorals, strengthening deltoids. Let's inhale to the side. It won't be that long. You could let your pelvis go where it needs to. And exhale back to center. If your legs are together, you're going to limit your range of motion. Exhale back to center. Now notice what's happening here. If you are able to close your eyes, close your eyes. Keep your arms to the side. So you don't want it to be that you bring your arms forward. You want to keep your arms along the side of your body and only go to where you can. Inhale into the movement. Exhale back to center. The inhalation stimulates the sympathetic branch of the nervous system, the part of you that is looking for safety. So it's the awareness and potentially even the inner body awareness of, is this a safe movement? Is this where I should be going? Because that inner intelligence in you will tell you, yeah, you could go there, or wait a minute, that's a little bit too much. Inhale and exhale, one more each side. And then bring yourself down, bring yourself out, rest. Let's bring the shoulder blades all up and down the back of our body. So you bring your shoulders forward, you bring them up, you bring them back, and you bring them down. Shoulders are forward, up, back, and down. And then let's go the other direction. So back, up, forward. Keeping your spine long, making sure that you don't close off the safe spinal space when you bring your shoulders forward. Can you maintain the safe spinal space as you do the shoulder rolls? So learning about functional, safe movement patterns in your body. And then go ahead and relax. So let's get the strap. If you're able to loop your strap, put a loop in your strap. And if you're not able to loop your strap, you could tie your strap around your legs or use an exercise band. And if you don't have a strap, then get a block, and you'll do a block between your knees. We're going to come down into the ground into our bridge posture. When we do bridge posture, when the intention is osteoporosis or bone health, we want to do as much of a back bend in this upper part of our spine as possible. So you don't want to be straight up and down in your bridge. You want to bring as much of a back bend up here as possible. And the way we do that is with our arms. We press our arms into the ground and we help to lift the weight of the rib cage up. So let's take the blanket for now. We can put it to the top of the mat. Bring your strap alongside your body. Coming onto your tushy. Before we go down to do the bridge, let's do a hip flexor and core strengthener called Navasana boat pose. So take your body side to side and feel the sits bones that you're sitting on. And then elbows out to the side, walk your feet back and come into Navasana boat pose. Now pull your heart towards your knees with your core, with your muscles. Elbows are out to the sides. If you could hold on with one finger, try to hold on with just one finger. Elbows are out to the sides and lifted. Pushing your heart up towards the sky, drawing your knees closer to your body. Imagine you have a big juicy navel orange inside your tummy and squeeze the orange. If you can take your hands off, take your hands off. Pulling the knees towards the chest towards the knees. The heart is lifting up. Feel that work. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze your core. Push your belly button towards your spine. Try to shorten the space between your chest and your legs. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself out. We're going to come down onto the ground. Here's another opportunity to make sure that we're maintaining safe spinal space. So as you come down, lengthening your arm away from you, come all the way down onto the ground. We're going to have the blanket there at first to prepare ourselves, and then we'll move it once we come up. So if you do have a strap, you're going to put the feet through the strap. And if you don't have a strap, then put a block between your knees. Once the strap is on your legs, Put your fist between your knees, the top part of your legs by your knees, and you should only have this much distance. So tighten the strap if it's too loose, and if it's too tight, loosen it. When we push into the strap, come up here with your legs, push into the strap so you actually feel the activation of the side of your hip joint. And then the feet go on the ground. Remove the blanket. We're going to come up into the bridge, so we want to make sure we don't put extra pressure in the head and neck to stay safe. And then you're going to use your arms alongside your body. So you can push it to the ground, lift your rib cage up, and slide the shoulder blades towards each other. Lift your head and lengthen your neck so you feel the weight right where that bump is in your head and closer to your neck. Walk your feet closer to your body. Push your feet into the floor, push out in the strap, and tilt your pelvis backwards so you flatten your low back into the ground. Inhale. And as you exhale, push your feet into the floor, push out in the strap, push your arms into the ground, push away from the ground, your pelvis comes up, your spine starts to bend, feel that in your spine, that's your exhale. And then inhale to push one vertebra at a time down onto the ground, warming up our spine in this flexion extension. And we're not really flexing because we have the ground to stop us from rounding in our back. You exhale, push your feet into the floor, push into the strap, and push your body up towards the sky, really using the arms as you come up to bring more of a bend in the thoracic spine, and then inhale to lower. The next one, we're going to come up, we're going to stay up, we're going to hold in this position. Push your feet into the ground, push out on the strap, push your arms into the ground, push away to bring yourself up, into bridge. Close your eyes, push your feet into the floor, push out on the strap, squeeze your buttocks, push your buttocks up. And then we want to bend the rib cage spine. So you could keep your elbows bent, pushing your arms in. You could straighten your arms if that works for you. And if you're able to clasp with straight arms, not resting your torso on them, you could come into straight arms. Push your arms into the ground wherever you are so you could lift the rib cage up. Push the shoulder blades into the rib cage to open and stretch the front of your spine as much as possible. Push out on the strap. Bring your awareness to the back of your body. We are strengthening your postural muscles. Push your feet into the floor. Push out on the strap. Squeeze your tushy. That's the lower body, the side body of the low body. Now we're going to come into the upper body. Push your arms into the floor like crazy, activating those back muscles, the pushing muscles to push you up. Feel that strength in the back of your body. Keep working. Push your feet in, push out on the strap, squeeze the tushy. Push the arms in, bend the spine. Push the feet in, push out of the strap, squeeze the tushy, push your arms. Take one more breath. And then you're going to take your arms out to the side. Start to put the upper rib cage down onto the ground. Lift the heels off the floor. Tilt your pelvis back. So you're trying to push your spine towards the ground, towards the lower ribs. Now you have the whole low back stretching as you slowly bring yourself down onto the ground. Bring your blanket back behind your head, take the strap off, and bring your knees into your chest pretty wide, and rock side to side. Bring your feet up towards the sky. This is happy baby. It's a great posture for stretching and massaging and releasing low back discomfort. And when we do spinal work, we are working the low back. So it can bring up some sensations, and especially those of you that have weaknesses in the lower back. And then go ahead and bring your feet down. So we're going to roll all the way onto our bellies. So come onto your belly, push your blanket away. If you have issues with having your hip bones on the blanket, hip bones on the mat, you can put a blanket under them. So if being on the mat is uncomfortable, you should put your blanket underneath your hips. When you come up here, this is called Sphinx. Bring your elbows directly underneath your shoulders. So don't be too wide. And then let your toenails touch the floor. Spread your fingers here, Sphinx posture. You want to make sure you're not collapsing in your body, so you want to push away. You want to have a neck. You want to have a nice long neck here. Exhale. And then inhale, look up and over to the side. Stretching your torso, your spine. Bring yourself back. This is rotation. Inhale up and look back. Go slow. If you want to close your eyes, you're going to feel a stretch along the sides of the belly button on either side. Stretching the top part of the psoas and some of those belly muscles, core muscles, rotational muscles. Keep your head lifted. So it's not so much about how far back you look, it is about how long you keep your neck and that your gaze is up and not looking down. One more on either side. And then bring yourself down onto the ground. Take your elbows out to the side. Fold your hands one on top of the other. Let the forehead rest on the back of the hands. Elbows are out to the side. Flatten your toenails into the ground. And then push your hands into the ground. Inhale. Push a marble away with your nose. Let your neck spine bend. Push away from the ground and lift your body as high as you can, feeling that stretch maybe down at the belly area. Exhale to lower. Inhale. And then exhale. One more like this. So the back muscles that attach to the pelvis, up the spine, all the way to the skull, these are super important postural muscles, the erector spinae muscle group. That's what we're warming up right now. Walk your toes closer together so they touch. So close your eyes. I want you to be aware of the muscles below the skull that go all the way up and down your spine. And those muscles are going to get shorter to lift up and pull up your head and your upper back up towards the sky. And they lengthen as you lower. I want you to experience that, feel that, get connected to that. Let your forehead touch the ground. Exhale. As you inhale, push a marble away with your nose. Push your arms into the ground. And then push away. You'll get a little higher. Feel those muscles from the base of the skull down to the sacrum, shortening to lift you up and to bend your spine backwards. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. And exhale to lower. Go slow. Make this be an exercise. Very targeted, very specific. Muscles of posture, spinal muscles. Notice where you feel it. Notice if it's on both sides. And then bring yourself down. We'll come into the locust. The locust posture is like a smiley face. From the head to the feet, your body is making a smiley face shape. And the muscles are lifting you up against gravity. Toes touch, all 5 toenails on both sides touch the floor. So push the pinky toes into the ground. Lengthen the back of the neck, let the forehead touch the ground. Exhale here. As you inhale, push a marble away. Let your head come up, let your chest come off, let your arms come off, and then your legs come up. So you are being supported from the lower ribs to the mid-thighs. Roll your legs in the socket so that the soles of the feet point up towards the sky. And then the palms face in, the fingers are reaching back, feet and hands are reaching towards the back, and then pull your head forward. Squeeze your tushy to protect your low back, or push your pubic bone, the front part of the torso, into the ground to protect the low back. Lifting up as high as you can in locust. Trying to bend the upper spine, close your eyes, shoulder blades towards each other. Push the shoulder blades forward to stretch and to bend that upper thoracic spine. Deep breaths, mouth closed. Deep breaths. Lift up a little higher. Long with the legs, long with the hands, long with the head. Take one more breath. When you come down, let's stretch the neck. So slowly let the legs come down, let the arms come down. Turn your head to the right as much as you can. Try to get the left ear and the left cheek to touch the floor. Let your shoulders round forward. Let your body relax. If there's a lot of tension on the right side, you can take the right arm out to the side or bend the elbow if you need. Take your legs as wide as your mat, bend your knees, and let your legs gently move side to side. Not trying to touch the floor, but trying to let the weight of the feet flop side to side. Let your head rest, close your mouth, breathe to your belly. Take one more breath. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Lift your head up. Turn your head to the left as much as you can. And then put your head on the ground. Let the right cheek and right ear touch the floor. If you need a little release, you could let your left arm go out to the side. Bend the elbow if you need. Breathe to your belly. Then take one more breath. Let your legs go long, walk them closer together. Bring your hands up in front of you, back into the Sphinx pose. Now this is going to be a little challenge. We're going to come up into a forearm plank. So it can be a challenge. Let's do this slowly, methodically. Let your elbows be directly under your shoulders. If your elbows are too wide, it's not going to establish the shoulder stability we need for the upper body. So walk your elbows closer than you would think. And then walk them a little bit closer to your body. You don't want them to be too far away. So walk them closer to your body. Spread your fingers. Walk your legs so that your legs are coming straight out of the hip joint. They're not too far apart. Take an inhale. As you exhale, dig your knees into the mat. Pull your pubic bone up towards your lower ribs and bring your torso up to body height. You could stay here, which is the modified, or you could flip your toes under and lift your knees off the floor. Dolphin plank, your choice. Push your fingers into the floor, push your forearms into the floor, push your elbows into the floor. And then your head, look forward of your mat, push through the heels, bring your awareness to your pubic bone, the base of your torso. Take an inhale. As you exhale, draw the pubic bone up towards the belly button strongly to activate those deep flexor muscles at the core of the body. Inhale, exhale. One more. Bring your knees down to the ground. Push your tushy back up. Come into what's called puppy dog to rest. Take your legs wide. You could let your toes touch. Keep your pelvis high in the ground. Arms are straight. And then the forehead comes down to the ground. If you don't have this ability to bend this deeply, you could put a block under your head to rest. But you want to make sure that your body is moving backwards. You don't have your pelvis too far forward. Your pelvis is hovering over the mid calves towards the ankles. Take one more breath. And then walk yourself back, bring yourself all the way up. Checking in with how you're feeling. A lot of strengthening work there for the back of the body, for the front of the body, and we use a lot of muscles at once. So the posterior and the anterior chain in the plank poses can be an intense, and then also in the bridge and the locust. So get your blanket and fold your blanket in two. Bring your blanket to the top of the mat. Go ahead and get your strap and your block. And come to sit on the blanket. Reaching under, you want to grab the flesh and take the flesh back so you really expose the sits bones. And then get your block. Your block is going to go between the lower legs, so between the calf area. Then you take your strap and get a hold of your toes or your feet with the strap, keeping your spine nice and long. So you don't want to bend your spine forward in order to put the strap on the feet. You want to keep your spine nice and long and then try to get the feet with the strap. So it might take a few times to do that. The feet are pointing straight away from you. Your toes are up towards the sky. You have the strap at the middle of your foot and you're pushing into the sides of the strap with the sides of your feet. Push the block and then slide your arms back so your elbows go underneath your shoulders. Wrap your hands around the strap so you have a nice firm hold with the elbows underneath your shoulders. This is going to activate the posture muscles in the upper back. You're pulling back, so you've got the pulling muscles of the body activated. You're squeezing the block with the lower legs. Push the low legs into the ground. That'll help you sit upright. Make sure you're not hanging back in your, this is called Dandasana staff pose. Make sure that you're not hanging out back here and you're not round at all. So sit as tall as you can. Push your feet down, squeeze the block. Pull the strap back to feel the back muscles. Slide those shoulder blades towards each other by pulling on the strap as hard as you can and pull the shoulder blades down the back of the body. The gaze is forward. So very active here. Push your feet down, squeeze the block, pull back with the strap, slide the shoulder blades towards each other and slide them down your back. Nice long neck. Chin is parallel towards the ground here. Pushing down with your legs is going to help you get that nice 90-degree angle in the hips that we want. Squeeze the block, push out on the strap. Push down on the feet, squeeze the block, pull the strap. Push down on the feet, into the legs, into the floor, push to the sides, squeeze the block, lift your heart, tall, tall body, take one more breath. And then slowly, slowly, slowly coming out. Heart rate accelerated means you're using a lot of muscles. Hopefully you used a lot of force in that posture. Bring the soles of the feet together. The staff posture, the Dandasana, is working on posture by strengthening the hip flexors. You may have felt the burning coming into one of the hip flexors, which is also a quadricep muscle. You may feel that there, and then activating that upper back to hold you. So it's actually training your body to be in a perfect posture position so that the muscles that need to turn on to activate that are activated. Squeezing the feet or pushing the feet together. And then if you want to go any deeper, getting those adductors a little stretched, you bend forward at your hip joint, not in your spine. So it's try to only get forward by pushing this part of your body forward towards your feet. Push your feet towards each other. Take one more breath. Let's do the seated twist while we're here, the straight leg twist. So take the block behind your left side. Your legs are straight. If you need to do another adjustment, picking up the flesh and taking the flesh back, bend the left leg, holding on to the left leg with both hands at first so you can pull your body closer. You want to make sure in this that you're not hanging out back, that you're not leaning back. So pull your knee towards your chest. Then hold on to the left leg with the right arm. Keep the right elbow lifted. Take the left hand either on the block or on the floor. It depends on how long your limbs are. Active right foot, pulling the toes towards you. Push the leg down. Push the left leg down. Lift the right elbow. Exhale. And let's inhale. Turn the whole lower rib cage to the left. The middle rib cage and the upper rib cage. Once you're here, push away from the block and pull your knee towards you to get as tall as you can. That's what keeps you safe in the rotation. Now, lower the shoulders, push them away from your ears, slide them towards each other, and then push them forward to lengthen your body, to find a stretch in your body. Push your shoulders down, slide the shoulder blades back, and push and lift forward. Refine the posture. Push the right leg into the floor, the left leg. Pull, lift the right elbow, and pull that left knee towards your chest. Push the shoulders down, slide the shoulder blades back, down your back, and forward and up. Take one more breath. From here, you're going to lift long in your body to unwind, pushing the block over, coming all the way out. And then take your leg long. Take the right leg. So the block is on the right side now. You're going to straighten the left leg, bend the right knee, and hold on to the right knee so you could pull the right knee towards the chest and the chest towards the knee. Right hand on the floor behind you. Lift that left elbow. Keep pulling that right knee towards your chest. Push down with your legs, down with your feet, pulling that leg towards you. Exhale, and then inhale. The lower rib cage moves to the right. Try to turn the middle of your rib cage by your heart towards the right, and then try to turn the upper rib cage towards the right. Refine. Push your left leg in, your right foot in, lift your left elbow, pull your right knee towards your chest. Push down and lift tall in your spine. Now push your shoulders away, slide the shoulder blades towards each other, and push them forward to lift your heart. Lengthen your torso. Keep your body active in this. You're pushing away from the ground with your hand, with your foot, and with your leg. Sitting as tall as you can. You're rotating your trunk, and then you're lengthening your neck, pushing your shoulders away from the ears, sliding the shoulder blades towards each other, and pushing forward to lift your body, to lengthen your body. Feel this the whole time. Work the whole time in this twist. Strengthening postural muscles, core muscles, trunk support muscles. Push down to get tall. Pull your leg towards you, push your legs down, take one more breath. And then bring yourself all the way out. This time, spreading the legs wide and stretching the adductors. So wide, you're sitting on your blanket, feel like you're falling forward with your body. Flex your feet, push your feet into the ground. So the bend at your hips, and when we can practice sitting in this position where we're growing right out of our pelvis, making sure that we're not like this, collapsed back, where your pelvis is tilted back. That's a common standing body position for many that develops over time. So just being aware, can you sit on the middle of your sits bones and grow right out of your spine, not back and not tilted forward? Coming forward to get more stretch, but making sure, where's your pelvis? Is it tilted forward or is it tilted back? Or are you getting that nice lined position with your pelvis? Take one more breath. And then come out of that. So we'll do a back bend called camel, which is good for spinal health. So take the block. So the block comes between the ankles. And we're going to take this block and squeeze in. You take your strap. You have a loop. If you have a loop, you could put your hands in the loop, pushing out with the hands or the wrists. You could also hold on and pull out with the strap if you'd like to do that. You could hold on to your elbows, drawing your hands down your back to get this stretch. You could take your fists and push into the top of the pelvis, pushing the pelvis down to protect the low back, pushing your elbows in for camel. So those are all the variations, and then we'll come into this and we'll hold. So you choose what is your best position to come into camel. It's a back bend. We're going to stretch the front of our spine, bend the back of the spine, and we're going to activate the glutes to pull the pelvis down to protect the low back. So get whatever it is you're going to use in your camel. Knees are coming directly off your pelvis. So begin by activating your glutes. So squeeze your tushy and then pull your tailbone down. That'll tilt your pelvis back. That'll protect the low back. And then push out on the strap so that the shoulder blades go towards each other. Push your hands down and reach your hands back and up. Now from here, push the shoulder blades away from the ears. Slide the shoulder blades towards each other. And then push them down towards your pelvis. Push them forward to lift and to bend the upper spine. Gazes up, squeeze the block, squeeze your tushy, pull your tailbone down. Hands reach down, back, and up, pushing your shoulder blades to bend your upper spine and protect the low spine by contracting the glutes. You want to try to bend. This is a back bend in the thoracic spine we're trying to achieve. Push the shoulders away, slide the shoulder blades towards each other, down the back and pushing forward to bend the thoracic spine. Try to stretch the front of your spine as much as you can. Deep breaths. And take one more breath. To come out, if your knees will let you, sit back on your block. Close your eyes and take a few breaths here. When you feel the accelerated heart rate, you know you're using more muscles. Using more muscles means you're going to make them stronger. When they're stronger, the bones will be stronger. Take one more breath. Props off to the side. Come up onto
your shins. Wide stance here. And then just let your arms flop to the sides. Taking any tension out of your spine. Noticing how your body feels. Come back to center, shoulders are forward, up, back, and down. Take your arms out to the side, inhale, and then hug yourself. And then one more. So we're going to come into Shavasana, which is the posture of integration, which is going to allow the memory of what was created today in class, the postural alignment, the flexibility, the range of motion into your body. Let's let that integrate into a memory, a new memory of better posture, better alignment, more strength. So get whatever it is you need to come down onto the ground to be in a relaxed position for Shavasana. So when you come down, just come down with awareness and your spine. Come into Shavasana. Any last minute, anything you need to do it. Come into a fully outstretched position. Stay connected to your breath. Begin to deepen your breath. Start to bring movement into your fingers, to your toes.
Rolling your ankles and your wrists. And then start to bend the knees one at a time, drawing the knees into the chest, rocking side to side. Come onto your side. And from here, maintaining the safe spinal space as you push yourself up to seated. Bring your hands together, touching your heart. Press the hands into the heart into the hands. Feel that nice lengthened position in your spine. We'll close with sound, a gentle humming sound. Take an exhale. Inhale deeply. Bringing the hands up to the forehead, bowing forward. Namaste. Working on posture is probably one of the most important, critical things to do for strong bones, for healthy bones, for fracture and fall prevention, and for happy, healthy aging. So continually work on your spine and posture to support healthy, active, fun, amazing aging. Or we have to say we're aging, right? Because every day we are. All right, how was that? So for those of you that are live here with me, thanks for joining me. Let me see who's here. Kathy, good morning. You're welcome. Claudia, I think I saw you. Yes. All right. Thanks for joining me. Like if you like, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Join my community, Stronger Bones Lifestyle. It's where I show up the most as an advocate for healthy aging, for naturally taking care of our bone health with lots of affordable things to do. So not spending crazy amounts of money on all of these shiny objects that exist in the bone health space, but using our own body to maintain what we need, learning the other things about food and diet and gut health that are all integral parts of bone health. So subscribe, join my newsletter on my website, debbierobinson.com, and come to my next cooking class. Or let me see what else. This is you're on my YouTube channel, my Stronger Bones Lifestyle podcast. Listen, I am so lucky to interview the people that I do, to learn what I learn, to share that with you. So listen to my podcast. You're welcome. All right. Yes. Good. All right. I'm glad you needed that, Beth. All right. And those of you that are in my community, let me know. Ask me questions. And who do you want to hear from? What is it you want to learn so I can search for those speakers, those experts to bring into our community to speak with us and to interview on my podcast. So I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day.